I'm Seneca Klassen from Lonohana Estate Chocolate. We are here on Oʻahu Ridge on the north shore of Oʻahu. And this farm we started working on in 2009, planting the initial hardwood, windrose, and cocoa. When we first started working at this site, we really did not have an integrated agroforestry model in mind. We thought we were going to plant out cacao trees relatively in full sun with just perimeter windbreaks to protect them from the trade winds and winter winds. But as we learned and experienced some disasters and made some mistakes and tried to really stop, slow down, and understand what the site was telling us, what we slowly realized was that what the cacao wanted from us was really a lot more integration and support and integrated forestry approach that really continually drove us toward this kind of regenerative agroforestry model that we're now embracing. At the end of the day, what we're realizing growing cacao up here is that agroforestry isn't just a kind of a nice thing to do. It's also the best practice for creating a really vibrant and very productive cocoa orchard, which is the most important thing for us since we're also an integrated chocolate making company. And ultimately, if the orchards don't work, the company doesn't work. A really intriguing way of understanding what's possible with a cash crop that's integrated with an agroforestry model. So a lot of times folks look at agroforestry and are thinking of it strictly in conservation terms or as ways to sort of manipulate habitat or carbon sequestration or these other things. And what we do here is really an economic driver that is integrated with that approach so that you have these two things feeding off each other. Hopefully very regenerative business practices and also a system that really is supportive of the local environment and increases biodiversity and does all that good stuff also, right? So it's a feel-good story, but it's also an economically positive and powerful model. Cool thing about the orchards for us is the thing that has always appealed to me about orchards when they're at their best is that they have this unique ability to create abundance without creating waste. So they're always throwing off this abundant energy and this abundant fruit and all this stuff, but they become more vibrant over time and they're kind of a permanent installation. And so at Lonohana, we try and really embrace that model and use it throughout the company. So to try and embrace the model of the orchard where it's always recycling, it's always regenerating, and it feeds on itself. And so we embrace that and think of it as like a system of positive spirals as opposed to negative ones, which tends to be the way most things are done. It's just like extract, extract, extract. And that simply doesn't work up here. You can try it, but it'll fail. And so agroforestry for us is really just like a practical implementation and the way to actually get stuff done that makes our business possible. And it turns out to be a really positive force for the local ecosystem. So super good. The whole reason why it's so powerful to have local orchards producing fine finished chocolate all the way through the process is because each place in the world of cacao is very specific terroir flavor aspect. So everything we create here on this place is really the flavor of that special interaction between the genetics of the trees, the soil type, the climate, the microbiology, the fungal life that's here. All of that stuff is a complex that creates the flavors of the chocolate that we represent when we manufacture it down at our factory in town. So it's the other really powerful aspect of running our own orchards is that it allows us to really like track and represent all of that seasonal variation and all of that like time to time and place to place terroir specificity of how chocolate tastes when it's grown really carefully in a particular spot. And Hawaii is beautiful for that because we have such intense microclimates. So cacao that's grown here is completely different in flavor from cacao that's grown in a windward pocket valley or on a neighbor island in a different climate with soil series that are so variable. So we have opportunities in chocolate in Hawaii to really represent a vast array of different flavors. I started in chocolate from like the retail end, and I've worked my way all the way back step by step by step through the whole process until we ended up here. And really the way that happened for me was just a cascade of curiosities. Every time I rounded a corner with chocolate and I found out the next thing that I had not known before, I was like, oh, what's that? And I just kept digging and digging. And then if you do that with this food, this is where you land. You land in an orchard. And there's also something really powerful on that end too, which is when you actually like get your hands around this whole system, you not only have kind of the ability to control and understand all of the levers you can pull throughout this complex chain of events that leads from here from this fresh fruit to finished chocolate, you also have the opportunity to treat people well throughout the whole system. And so that's the other cool thing specifically about doing cacao in the way that we're doing it is we have the opportunity to actually like invert that and respect people throughout step by step and make sure that everybody is properly compensated and has health care and has their basic rights respected and isn't doing a poverty job for a poverty wage. Like, that's no interest to us whatsoever. So we really want to step it up and make chocolate a different way. And that to me was a big part of my own personal drive to verticalize this and localize it and change the nature of, even though we're a tiny minuscule little particle of water in the ocean, I feel like every little choice like that makes a difference, and it gives consumers an opportunity to engage with chocolate in a different way, in a way they can feel better about, if they're interested in exploring it.